Beautiful. Hashtag Genio for life. Good morning and welcome to Genio Cupping Session. Today we're going to cup some coffees together, and it's coffees that we roasted during this journey of prepping to help every single roaster out there and give you each an opportunity to learn something very, very new. Your setup, as you'll see, is pretty simple. I've got some cups with some spoons to clear, prepared water, always have some beans lined up so that every roaster that is experiencing this with you can see the roast profile you're providing. I've pre-ground enough for my cupping bowls. I've got it over here so we can do a dry aroma. Every single cupper that's going to be with you needs to have their own cup, their own spoon, and their own cloth to wipe off in this experience so there's no cross-contamination. I have a timer to my side, and I've got a small notebook to make notes. You can utilize your Genio journal for that. I've got an African coffee here, I've got an Asian coffee over here, and I have a Central American coffee over here. We're all gonna do an aroma. We wanna just check to see what sort of dry aroma we are getting. Once you've started your cupping protocol, never pick up the cups that you are cupping in. So give everybody an opportunity to have a nice smell, agitate it a little bit. I'm making a mental note, because I'm gonna make a note now. Beautiful. Make a quick note. Once I've poured here and you've filled up in this vessel, make note of what that interval is. So if you've poured here and you stop at 15 seconds and you start in 15 seconds later there, make a note of that. When you're breaking your crust at 4 minutes on each cup, you will find that you're not going to have any inconsistencies from cupping to cupping. So I'm going to pour over my 12 grams into my standard cupping cup of each of the coffees. Cupping size grind, which is medium to coarse, very similar to a plunger. And I will start my timer to the side here. Make sure you swirl the water around. You want to ensure that you wet all the grinds and fill the cup to about 2 to 3 mils from the top. Beautiful. 15 seconds on the dot. So when I break, I will break at 4. 15 seconds later, I'll break in the middle. 15 seconds, and I'm gonna go here again. So try to keep that uniform as well. If you're gonna do a slow pour over 20 seconds, then do the other 2 as well, that you have that interval consistent. And then it doesn't create confusion with everybody that you're working with. Try have at least 1 or 2 people that help you take the lead. So the beauty about this is, in 45 seconds, we've poured all 3 coffees. We've got a beautiful aroma coming up here now. And I've got a 4-minute steep that this needs to sit and soak in as much of that goodness as possible. But you're gonna do your initial wet smell on the break of the crust. So you've got a dry aroma smell, which was pre. You've got a wet aroma smell, which is on the break. And then once you've cleared your crust, this is what this glass and spoons are for. You're gonna dip, you're gonna clear the crust into this cup, all 3, and then you can evaluate. Take everybody's opinion and feelings into consideration. It's massively important that everybody feels comfortable during a cupping session. We are 2 minutes 37. I'm gonna do a little pre-aroma smell just to see what sort of aroma I'm getting off the surface. Ooh. Once again, Indonesian smells amazing. Beautiful spiciness coming off this cup. And I haven't even broken the crust yet, so it just shows me how much potential there is. We will normally have our tablet available to have a look, to cross-reference what you are about to experience. It's normally in a case of where you're uncertain. If, for example, you've noticed something has gone wrong during your roast, like you haven't dropped your gas enough or you've increased your airflow, that you're going to experience possibly some issues within your roast profile. Try not to let the cat out of the bag with all your other roasters. Let other guys cup blindly as well. If you're leading the cupping, you need to know what's going on. But with everybody that's there, allow them to have their own opinion. We are at 4 minutes. I'm taking my spoon, I've got my little napkin, and I'm gonna break crust. Remember, I've got 15 seconds. Make sure you get in there and you really get a good aroma. So you get in, you give it 2 or 3 strokes forward and smell again. Okay, on 15. Oh man, it just gets better and better. At this point, you can encourage the other people that are cupping with you to start smelling that. Beautiful. In this period of time, between 4 and about 6 minutes, allow everybody to smell. Are you getting any maybe defect aromas that you're going to be picking up? So if it's baked, it would have a wheaty or grainy taste, and make a note of that. All of these are really, really, really nice. They've got a beautiful aroma. It's coming out beautifully. I'm very, very happy. I'm not picking up anything here, an ashiness or an oatiness or a wheatiness or anything like that. Just make a note of that. And once everybody has experienced this and have made their own notes, then it's time to clear. That could happen anywhere between 5.5 and 6 minutes. I'll take 2 spoons and I'll clear as much of the crust that is still left on the top after the break. Sweep from the outside to the inside. And just try clear as much as possible. The one thing as a roaster we're always going to experience is that little bit of grit. But like me, you've probably noticed I chew on a lot of beans. I don't mind it. I enjoy it. But for a lot of people, especially clients that you're working with, they may not. And now the cupping experience can begin. This is where we're going to be evaluating flavor, initial taste, aftertaste, body, texture. But more importantly, taste balance is so important. What is the level of sweetness, sourness, saltiness, acidity, bitterness, and even the savory flavor notes, the umami flavor notes? What are you getting out of the cup? And with the coffee that you've got and the supplier that is giving you the coffee saying this is what you should expect, write it down. You need to have that traceability on a continuous basis. Now, very important, you want to give it a good slurp. So, and by introducing a lot of air, you're heightening those flavors, and especially the primary flavors. Beautiful, beautiful roast. Don't work too slowly as well. You want to be moving on at a pace because coffees are going to cool. And I'm going to come now to my Indonesian. Remember, dip, wipe, in between, because everybody else is coming into the cup. Make sure you've got nice hot water available that you clean with. Second one. Primary flavor note, brown sugar on this cup. Absolutely beautiful. Typical Indonesian. Want some nice floral coming through, a nice undertone of sugar and spice, like a cinnamon-like flavor coming through. And last but not least, my good friend from Nicaragua. Okay. It's a mighty fine Nicaraguan. Yeah, exactly what I'm looking for. These roasts are so consistent over here, it's beautiful. What you're going to be doing, especially if you're within your roastery and you are cupping on a daily basis to check, or every time you've roasted, these roasts are exactly about 24 hours old, between 24 and 36 hours. It's a good time to check. You want to be doing this on a regular basis. There's no need for you to do a triangulation, which is 3 cups, unless you are looking at uniformity. If you have picked up an inconsistency across your roast, like your roast is roasting unevenly, then you need to do a triangulation, 3 cups, to see whether all 3 taste the same, and make a note of that. If one of those cups are tasting different, you need to be then looking for defects that could be taking place within your roast or the supplier of the beans that they're giving you. Once everybody's had a taste, at a certain point you can start to share your experience and what you're enjoying. Now, what I love about cupping, and especially making cupping interesting where you begin to blend coffees. You want to have additional cup available. Because I'm looking at this coffee, I'm tasting fruity, floral. This coffee, brown sugar, spice, chocolate. This coffee, a little bit on the sour side, but not bad, great balance. But I'm looking at all three, and now as a roaster, you've got enough coffee here to ensure that you're able to blend effectively. So the fun way of doing this is to take a portion of each coffee. You want a sufficient amount that you're able to taste. So all three coffees have a very, very interesting attribute. I think they're going to come together beautifully. So to get equal amounts, use your cupping spoon and take maybe 1, 2 of this. Rinse your spoon thoroughly. Take 2 of this. So what I'm basically doing is I'm taking equal parts to see what this blend is going to taste like. Now, because it's your own glass, give it a nice swirl. Smell it. What are you getting? I mean, obviously you smelt there, you smelt there, smelt there. You're going to be getting a combination of all those aromas. Then give it a slurp straight out of the cup. Wow. These coffees work beautifully together. Have another sip, don't slurp it, drink it like you would normally. Wow, it's smooth. The floral of this is coming through. These two florals have really heightened one another. I've got a nice dark chocolate finish, but I've got a beautiful texture that's coming through. And it's a combination of these beans that are complementing one another. If you find at this point, like you've tasted this, and there seems to be a bit of an imbalance, make a note and try identify what that imbalance is. The group that you're cupping with, you're able to start talking, communicate. Cupping together as a community with colleagues, other roasters, makes it more fun, makes it more interactive. You bring a couple more opinions together that really helps you to make a conclusive decision on what you're doing. If you're not cupping regularly, you're not going to pick up the issues from the green beans that you're being supplied, and you're potentially not going to pick up issues that is within your roaster as well. You need to be maintaining your roaster on a regular basis, and a lot of the time we take it for granted that everything's fine, but the only way we can pick it up is through the cupping process. The people that you're around, let them be honest with you. Tell them, help me pick up any issues. Be honest with each other, help each other, support each other. Coffee is community. Coffee connects us all. And at Genio, we want you to have a successful coffee roastery or roastery cafe.